here. Woo! All right. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Small Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Jennifer Razan, and you have only me this week because Ian's off traveling and being a jet setter, so he'll come back. Don't worry, he'll come back. This episode, I actually wanted to touch upon a little bit of my training nutrition. If you're a frequent watcher of my training vlogs for the LA Marathon, you would see all the foods that I eat, all the gels and stuff that I would usually take for my training. I haven't really talked about it as much, so I figured this would be the perfect opportunity to actually talk about it and show you guys some of the products that personally I've been using for the last several years. Little disclaimer here, I have not been sponsored in any way by any of these products that I've been using. I bought all this stuff with my own money that I enjoy spending them on. And a lot of it is pretty much trial and error on my part to see what would work for me. And these ones are the ones that do. Definitely the best part of the training aspect of it is you get to try various things to see, if they are something that you would like or something that that you kind of like but don't want to, take for long periods of time. So go with your own flow. So first things first, what I normally eat during, regular meals is pretty much, your average foods really. For breakfast, I would have usually like an English muffin with a bit of butter, or some cereal or whatnot. So something to help, get my system going. And I usually like to take a glass of water right I'm waking up. So it kind of helps my body kind of just get revitalized after a long period of sleep. So I've noticed that it does help, kind of bring a little energy to me once I've woken up. General meals consist of usually, what I like to eat. I don't like to limit myself too much because I enjoy food. If you've seen all the foods that I've been eating on my vlogs, you could actually see like I eat burgers, I eat, Filipino food, I eat Chinese food, I eat, Japanese food, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches here and there, Mediterranean kebabs. So I don't really limit myself, but I do eat in moderation. The only times I'll kind of fill up is when I'm about to do a long run. So the day before, I'll kind of have a heavyish meal that consists of like some mostly carbs and protein. So that way I'd have that energy for the next day, especially for this training block. I'd have a bit of a heavy meal the day before and then, prepare myself for that long run. Some of the foods I do enjoy eating, I do like the occasional salad here and there. It's actually pretty good. I add some proteins to it, whether it be chicken, some kind of, meats, or even tofu. Eggs are good ones. So I like to mix it up here and there and a little bit of dressing just to give it some flavor because we all know sometimes the leafy greens can taste a little bland. So definitely like to add a touch of flavor to it. I don't like snacking as much. I'm notoriously known to have a sweet tooth, so I'm the type of one who likes to have like a little bit of dessert after a meal. I've been curbing that just a little bit in terms of my training here and there, but on occasion I like to have like a cookie here and there or some kind of pastry. This last one I had a bit of like fudge. So, it's good to treat yourself every once in a while. It's a good incentive to like, you're doing all the hard work, so you got to reward yourself with something that you enjoy. So definitely, go for it if you want, that milkshake or something. So don't really deny yourself what you enjoy eating because, life's too short to, not go for stuff. Is that right? I think it's right. Or life's too short not to enjoy the good life. Also, I don't really drink sodas. I try to avoid sugary drinks as much as possible. It's mainly just water, of course, the electrolyte drinks for when I'm training or after exercising. I don't drink coffee. I used to. I used to have at least 1 cup a day, and then the beginning of 2023, I actually gave up coffee. I know, shocker, but I switched to matcha, which is less caffeine in it, but there's still a little bit, and I enjoy it quite a bit. Like that's what you see me kind of. If you watch my vlogs, I'm sifting something into a mug. That's my matcha drink that I'm making during those moments. So I quite like it. I usually just drink it straight as a tea. Some people like to put like honey or some type of sweetener in it, so I kind of avoid that. When I was drinking coffee, I used to drink it black because I hated putting some kind of cream in it. Once in a while, I'll have like a French vanilla one or hazelnut, but most of the time it was just straight black coffee. And then of course on occasion I'll have like some natural fresh juice. I'll get some freshly squeezed orange juice, or I'll go out and buy some bottled coconut water or something. I'm mostly kind of the natural juices here and there. That's what I usually go for. I try to avoid all the processed stuff as much as possible, especially nowadays with everything that we eat being so processed, that I'm trying to kind of, in some ways or other, try to bring back the natural flavors of certain foods, or have foods that have their natural, I guess, vitamins and minerals in there, if that makes any sense. So that's what I've been trying to do the last few years, also just to kind of keep myself healthy, especially with various diseases and cancers being more prevalent nowadays. It's like we kind of have to watch in terms of what can trigger something to develop. But really, that's what my main eating habits is in terms of like my main meals during the day. Usually I'll have like a semi-big lunch, so that way in the evening I won't have to eat as heavy of a meal. I find that I can't have heavy meals during dinners, or else I'll be up later than I normally would. On occasion, I'll have like a large dinner if it's something like there's a celebration, or even my birthday, or just something happening that evening that there was no somewhat avoiding having a delicious, fulfilling meal. And of course, having breakfast as much as possible, since as they say, it is one of the most important meals of the day, which I kind of believe it actually is, because if you have a proper meal first thing, it kind of keeps you satiated for a good chunk of the day. And that way you're not really craving as much snacks here and there in the middle pieces. But coming from a Filipino household, that's kind of a difficult thing, because usually we have breakfast and then snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, midnight snack. Maybe, if you've been out drinking, kind of like middle of the night snack. I haven't done that in years. I don't know. And alcohol, I don't drink it as much as I used to, especially when I was younger. If I have a good glass of wine or two, or a beer, depending if I'm out with friends. I still have like maybe like a beer or a wine every now and then, but not as often as I used to. Usually just reserved for special occasions and, moments of celebration. But I do like a good glass of red wine every now and then. Or even a cocktail, but depending on the cocktail. So, yeah. I mean, mocktails are good too. And also, I try to avoid foods that I know, at least for me, that would cause me to, get bloated and whatnot. So I've been more cautious in terms of what I eat, but still I enjoy the meals that I have. Like, I know what's in them, so that way I'm not too worried being like, oh my gosh, there's this, there's that in there, I have to remove that. You gotta, treat yourself every once in a while to a good meal. And luckily, nowadays I've been able to, cook meals at home. Mama J would cook some of her meals as well, so I'd have some of that. I mean, Mama J's cooking is out of this world, so whatever she cooks, I will eat. That's usually how it goes, right? I mean, mom's cooking is the best. Anyways, so yeah, that's my whole normal nutrition, my overall everyday, meal plan. And then there is that side of the training meals or the training snacks. Snacks? I don't know if snacks is a good word. Like overall training accoutrements, like the gels or like the electrolytes, the little things here and there to keep me energized during my runs or my training blocks or my cross training. So now we'll actually go to that part to see what I have in my arsenal. You could take these as mini suggestions here and there. You don't have to do them whatsoever. They're just things that I've been doing for the last several years that's worked for me. So definitely find what will work for you. Not every plan is made for everybody. And, just make sure that, you do things the proper way, that your stomach will agree with it. That is kind of the most important things, especially when you're out in a run. The last thing you want to do is run to the nearest restroom. Or if you're training, you're really, out of luck if you're training on a road where there's nowhere you could stop to, take a moment. Luckily, fingers crossed, I have not had that happen. Knock on wood. And hopefully that won't happen. I've been very fortunate in my training runs that, that I've gotten used to how I've done things to know when certain feelings start to arise. All right, so let's get to the running nutrition aspect of it all. Or the running snackage. I don't know. What would you call it? So let's get into some of the items that I've been eating really during my training sessions, especially during my runs, before, during, and after. These are things, again, that I've been, trying on and off for several years, especially since I've been running quite often. These are the ones that I feel like would work best for my digestive system. So first things first. I like to have a little electrolyte drink once in a while, especially for long runs. I like to pre-mix it with some water beforehand. I usually drink half before my run and then the other half after my run, so about 16 ounces, so 8 ounces each. The one I've been using lately is the one from Liquid IV, and I believe this is the Tropical Punch flavor. It's actually pretty good. I believe the 16 ounces is enough to dilute it enough to where the flavor isn't too strong, but still enough. At least from my practice with it. I have tried their, I think, acai berry ones and the lemon lime. I just find this one a little bit better. I do believe they also have other flavors as well, but I haven't tried those yet. The other ones I've tried before are the Nuun brands, Nuun. I used those quite a bit for the last 2 marathons that I did. They're kind of like the tablet forms. They look like Alka-Seltzer tablets, which is pretty cool. So you just drop them in water. Again, I usually like to go for 16 ounces of water, and they'll pretty much dissolve throughout. Those are pretty good, actually. I enjoy those. The ones that I've had before is the strawberry kiwi and the grape flavor. Those are like their regular flavors that they have. I know they have other kind of like sub flavors of like sports enhanced and other, sleep enhancement kind of things. I just go for the regular ones that I just find at the store or whatever's in the running shop. So I don't try to mess with, all these enhanced flavor stuff. But I enjoy those. Scratch is another one. SKRATCH. I love their fruit punch flavor and the orange flavor that they have. They're more of the, scoop out of a bag type formula. I've seen those being used on a couple of races. So that's how I kind of got into that. So they kind of worked well. I do enjoy those as well. But lately, yeah, Liquid IV has been my go-to for this training block, and I enjoy it. And overall, these are great for just like hydration if you're feeling, dehydrated. These electrolyte drinks are pretty good to keep you hydrated throughout most of the day. Next item, protein powders. I just recently got into them in the last 6 months because I noticed I haven't really been taking as much protein as I need to, as much as I enjoy eating. I don't have enough protein, during my meals sometimes. So protein powders, I only started getting into those lately. And I like to go for the plant-based ones. So the one I've been using is actually the Garden of Life organic protein. These ones are, it says they're made with sprouted seeds and grains and has about 20 grams of protein per scoop. Probiotics and enzymes here and there. The previous one I used was the Orgain brand. I like those. Well, I kind of liked it at first and then got tired of it and then been getting this one for a while. I believe there's a couple other brands as well. I haven't tried them, so if you guys know of any good plant-based protein powders and such, let me know. I would like to try them and see if they taste any better than what I currently have. On occasion, it would, before, at least from my experience, end up being a little bit chalky. So, which is why I like to mix it up in a protein or a smoothie, actually. With that one, if you've seen the vlogs, I usually like to mix it up with some mixed berries and a banana, which, helps dilute the chalkiness of the powders getting mixed in there. But I enjoy this one quite a bit. If you have any suggestions on protein powders that are the plant-based ones, let me know. And I believe this one is considered vegan too. So if you're vegan, there you go. And for me, I only use those protein smoothies only on my run days. On my alternate days, for when I do my cross training, I'll usually have a green juice from Trader Joe's. One of my favorites actually is the Very Green 100% juice or juice smoothie from Trader Joe's. It's like in the fridge section. They also have a cold pressed version, I believe, on that one. So I'll occasionally swap between the two, but I enjoy it quite well. These ones are pretty much just fruits and some green foods like spinach, broccoli, barley grass. So it's a good alternative. I like to have it, after my workouts when I do my cross training. And, I've been drinking this for a long time. So definitely one of my favorites. When I have the smoothie and the green juice, it's usually just after my runs or my workouts because, I'm trying to replenish the calories and the proteins that I've expended. So it's perfect for that kind of rehydration. And then I'll pair that with, an English muffin with some butter. On occasion, I'll put a bit of honey in there just to, sweeten it up a little bit. Again, with my sweet tooth. It's a good small breakfast. It's actually, for me at least, it is filling enough where it'll hold me over until my next meal. And now for a quick break. As you may know, I am running the LA Marathon this coming March 2024. What you may not know is that I am actually running it for charity. That charity being City of Hope. They're an amazing hospital and organization here in Southern California, as well as in the United States, dedicated to the advancements and treatment for cancer and diabetes. I have known firsthand several who have had their treatments there and their transplants, and they're currently thriving, living out their lives to the fullest. And over the last few years, I've had the opportunity to work with City of Hope on several projects, and I wouldn't trade that for anything, which is why I am running for the patients who are there, for my friends who've had their transplants. They are the reason why I go out there day after day running those miles. I run for them and I run for those who can't run. So if you'd like to donate, please visit my website for my fundraising page at ourhope.cityofhope.org/5footrunning 2024. Again, that's ourhope.cityofhope.org/5footrunning 2024. We're only a few hundred away from my fundraising goal, and with your help, I know we can achieve that. Every little bit helps, so please do consider donating and sharing this. And just know that your donation goes directly to the hospital to help in those who are really working the real work, fighting the good fight, and finding a cure and curing diseases that, have affected so many millions out there. And the amazing thing, some of the treatments that we have today for cancer and diabetes was discovered at City of Hope. Again, the website for my fundraising page is ourhope.cityofhope.org/5footrunning 2024. Thank you so much for this support, and I truly do appreciate it. And I know the patients and the staff members at City of Hope appreciate it as well. Anything that you can help with, we truly love you all for it. Now back to our program. So just so you know, I have like a basket full of stuff that I usually keep everything in. So it's all kind of like a jumbled mess right now. So apologies for the rumbling of packages. I don't know, it's ASMR. Can you hear that? Who knows? We may just do an ASMR episode. Maybe not. I don't know. What do we have here? Let us see here. So we've been training LA Marathon, and one of the things that comes along with it are some of the aches and pains of, putting the stresses on our bodies. And over the last few years, I've been taking these turmeric shots. This one I get usually from Trader Joe's. It's like the organic mighty turmeric juice shot. And I swear, like, every time I drink this, I feel a little bit better. Or maybe it's like a placebo effect. I don't know. But it tastes pretty good. I like it. It's got, like, coconut water, a little turmeric, lemon juice, and a little bit black pepper. I actually originally thought that this had some ginger in it. But apparently it doesn't. Maybe it's just me or my mind's tricking me that there's, like, a ginger flavor in there. I do know there are some ginger shots, which are great for, helping the immune system, which on occasion I will have one of those as well. But one of my favorites, again, this one, Mighty Turmeric, to help with some aches and pains if you ever have them. It's an acquired taste, so you may not enjoy it if you do try it. But, at least if you try it, you tried it once. So there you go. And another thing I found out too recently is, actually no, I take that back. Back in 2021, when I was training for the Long Beach Half Marathon, I heard about using pickle juice as well as to help with cramping. Pickle juice, whether it be from the jar or this particular one I saw that's called a pickle juice shot. And when I'm taking it, it's actually help alleviate some of the cramping that's kind of beginning to set after any physical activity that I've done. I haven't tried the, pickle juice from a jar version, which, I'm sure it has the same properties as this one particular one that I'm holding up here. But it does work. I can attest to that. Because I believe, was it last week when I did my 20 miler, I took one afterwards. The day after, I was feeling fine to walk around, because usually I'd be hobbling around just trying to, get my bearings on. But definitely, you can try it if you want. Again, the same thing with the turmeric shot. Pickle juice is an acquired taste, so it's up to you whether you want to give that a shot too. And speaking of cramping, a friend of mine gave me a package of these. These are the Himalaya Salt candies. You may have probably, if you listened to the previous episode, or at least two episodes ago, I was talking about how having like a pinch of salt kind of helps with hydration and soreness. Because when you're, using physical activity, especially if you're training for a marathon or long distances, we use up a lot of sodium and sugars from our body, the glucose. So that's why we have to take gels and whatnot to replenish that as we're going along. And a friend of mine gave me this one, the Himalaya salt candies. And it tastes pretty good. This one's the lemon flavor. So you could kind of taste the lemon and salt flavor as you're kind of eating it. I'll usually have one of these like halfway through my run, and it does help quite a bit in terms of alleviate any cramping that I may sort of feel like that's coming on, and I've quite enjoy it actually. These ones in particular, if I'm looking at the package right, come from Singapore. So these are exclusive to it says in the package, exclusive to the Singapore market. I don't know if they're actually sold here in the US. I'll try to find that out. But it's pretty good. I enjoy it. Then again, I enjoy, tasting salt. There were some other ones I used to take when I was training for my first marathon. I think it's called salt sticks. They look like little pill capsules. And I would usually take one before my run to help with my sodium levels before I start running. So that way I could get a little bit of energy when I started running. And I used to use those quite a bit until I ran out and totally forgot to get a new bottle of it. So these ones help in the meantime. And the candy form is much better too. So let's see. What do we have here? Protein bars. Yes, on occasion I do enjoy eating them. Here's a few ones that I currently have on rotation. Let's see. First one is the Power Crunch Protein Energy Bar. This is the French vanilla creme flavor. 14 grams of protein in this one. I usually have this just to snack around during the day or before a run. And these are kind of like wafer bars. Not too much strong of a flavor. RX bars. I actually just got into these recently. Just in the last few weeks. The ones that I enjoy, that I've tried really only, are the blueberry flavor. This one right here is the RX blueberry flavor. And the chocolate sea salt flavor. Both of them have about 12 grams of protein in it. And I like the taste of it. It's a little thicker than what I'm used to in terms of protein bars, kind of a little bit chewier. So if you got like sensitive gums and teeth, these may not be for you. But if you enjoy kind of a chewing a little more, definitely give it a try. These don't have as much sugar as compared to the other ones, but so many different choices of like protein bars out there. These are the ones that I currently go for. I used to have like the Cliff ones, but after a while they kind of lost their appeal to me. So I kind of switched over to these guys. And then of course you may recognize the ever so slightly Rice Krispie treats. This one's actually great as a mid-run snack because it's sweet. You got some carbs in there from the Rice Krispies. And who doesn't like a Rice Krispie treat anyway? So, I mean, I would normally make them, homemade, but I don't have much time per se to actually make the homemade versions. And when I do the homemade version, I'll make like a big batch, and they wouldn't necessarily last until my next long run. So, these individually packed snack versions are great for that. I enjoy it when I'm doing my long runs. It'll help extend, at least for me, a couple of miles before I have to take my next gel. So, and it breaks up the whole monotony of, having 1, 2, or 3 gels and then having the snack and then having the rest of your gels, because we runners know the gels aren't necessarily the most great thing to have constantly while you're training. And another one would be the Nature Bakery Fig Bar. I used to have these ones as well as a mid-run snack, just to break up the sweetness from all the gels that we've been intaking. It's a good mid-run snack again. These ones come with like 2 like small mini bars that look like the original fig bars, but definitely enjoy these ones. Up next, let's see here. Trying to figure out what I haven't showed you guys yet in terms of what my... here. Of course, missing one of the most important things. Oh, jeez. It's been a long day. I actually just went for my long run this week before recording this, so my brain's a little not here at the moment. My gels, my running gels, the gels that I've been using for my training for the LA Marathon. That is like the most important thing that I cannot forget. The ones I've been using are these ones from Maurten, Maurten. If you're watching this on YouTube, here you go. Comes in the box if you order the 12-pack. I do believe they sell them individually. These ones in particular, I wouldn't say they're not cheap, but they're also not expensive per se. I've had gels before. I've had the goo ones, the Science and Sport versions, and honey stingers. The goo ones don't sit well with my digestive tract. I've had issues with them before. When I was training for my first marathon, it didn't really sit well with me, so I had a whole box of them. So I just used it all up until it was all done and then switched over to a new one. The Science and Sport ones and honey stingers worked okay for me for a little bit, but then I found the Maurten ones, and they actually, luckily, don't have any kind of weird effect on my GI system. So these ones here are the Gel 100s. So they come like in a kind of black packaging. And then they also have a caffeine version, which is the Gel 100 Caffeine 100, and it comes in a white package. These ones I use sparingly, only when I need some sort of like caffeine kick, which I'll likely have a couple for the marathon. But majority of the time I use the Gel 100s. I think for if you're gonna buy them individually, they go for like $2 to $3 a pop. But I'd rather get the 12-pack, kind of save a little bit, so that way I have some extras if I need to. The taste of it, there is really no flavor to it. These just, it's like a jelly, sugar jelly consistency. Oh, here's a really cool tip too, if you want to, especially if you're taking gels. Usually from their package, if you feel them, they're kind of like the thick consistency. So what I like to do is, if your running pants or shorts have pockets, before, or at least a mile or two before you have to take one, I like to put it in the pocket so that my body warmth can kind of make it a little softer to ingest. Because when you take it, and if you don't, and it's just fresh from like your hydration jacket pockets, it'll like feel like you're chewing on something like a thick jelly. So definitely pocket gets it a little warm, makes it a little softer. Or if you have a long sleeve shirt, I usually like to tuck it into the sleeve just to, warm it up there. But it does help kind of, ingest a little better without it being so thick. And I think for the day of the marathon, I'm probably going to bring, doing some math here, math, probably around 6 gels. So 4 of the regular and then 2 caffeinated just to help boost. And I'll use the caffeine versions kind of like in the middle beginning and then middle end, if that makes any sense. I'm still working it out in my head in terms of what my game plan is for that. And then have a little bit of, a snack in between just to break up that gel consistency that, I've been taking. Let's see here. Trying to look around, see if I got anything, or if I got anything. Oh, and yes, I did. I did forget one thing. These guys, it's the peanut butter pretzels. I will die on a hill on saying these are probably the best snacks ever. They're so good. These ones that I got are from Costco. It's the Kirkland brand, and I don't know, they just taste really good. I've had different versions from like Trader Joe's and from the regular grocery stores. They don't taste the same. I don't know, there's something about the flavor in this one that's just really good. And they're just good for, source of protein throughout the day. So definitely, unless you're allergic to peanuts, then you're allowed to skip these. So yeah, regular pretzels are fine. Good source of salt and carbs. But yeah, hold on. I'm gonna have some right now. Peanut butter pretzel ASMR. Delicious. I'm gonna put it away because I'm gonna end up eating the whole thing. Somewhat taking or trial and error in terms of what works for me from my training, what I've been using for the last few years for the various races that I've ran before. You don't have to try any of these, just FYI. If you want to, cool. And let me know what you think of them. But other than that, trust what your own game plan is. Try out certain brands here and there and make sure that it works well for you. And if they do, continue using it. If not, switch it up and see what else would work. And of course, none of this is, I'm not a professional in any way or any kind of medically certified nutritionist or specialist. This is just things that I've personally been trying over the last few years and quite enjoy, actually. So I am just your average everyday runner who just likes to enjoy little things here and there and of course loves to eat. But yeah, I think this is all of it. Did I cover it all? Double check. Yep, I believe that it is. So that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to us and just, hearing what we have to say and just for your support. So thank you so much once again. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and you can find us on all platforms where podcasts are found. So look for us there, Small Talk Tuesday. If you have any suggestions for future episodes or plant-based, protein powders, let me know at smalltalktuesday@gmail.com. And who knows, I may just end up trying it and liking it. Until then, I'll see you all next time. Ciao.